Alright, this is another gun I've used in a couple of videos. This is an STI 38 Super. It's basically a 9mm longer cartridge 9mm. It's what they refer to as an open gun in IPSC competition. It's got a compensator on the end of the barrel. And this particular gun, these are all pretty much custom, so you're going to see a lot of variations in it. The barrel has been drilled out with a few holes in here, and this is to help reduce muzzle rise. But what it does is it makes it really loud and a lot of fire. And there's a blast shield on the scope mount to help keep the scope from getting damaged. I'm using a Seymour on this, and these guns are a lot of fun to shoot. They're fairly expensive. Something I didn't mention in the other video was that the cost. I haven't bought a brand new gun. I usually buy them used from other shooters once they've decided they need to upgrade to something else. This particular gun set up the way you see it, with the Dawson Ice magwell, just like the limited gun. The Seymour, the scope mount, everything you see, I paid $1,000 for it, which is a decent deal. I bought it a few years ago. Of course, that came with no magazines. Now, when you're talking magazines for these guns, you're looking around $100. I believe a standard magazine is around $60, and then you're going to pay another $30 or so for this. So you run into nearly $100 per magazine. The 38 Super uses the same length magazine as the limited gun. Fits nice and flush inside the magwell. However, since it is what's considered open division, you can use a longer magazine. And this will allow you to put almost 29, maybe 29 rounds of 38 Super in this gun. This gives you a considerable advantage when there's a high round count stage, but then again, you're only shooting against people with similar guns and similar magazine capacity. But you can definitely see the difference in these length of magazines. Well, getting this gun apart is very similar to the limited gun. Make sure it's unloaded. I'm going to pull it back, line up the holes just like on the other 1911. Use my brass punch. Use brass so it doesn't damage your finish all that much. And then the front will just slide right off. I don't have a Dawson toolless guide rod on this, so the old style method, I don't know if you can see that, there's a tiny little hole drilled in the guide rod. We use a paperclip method. So I have this little bitty paperclip here. It's bent. I push the guide rod through, exposing the hole. I can put that right like so, and then slowly let off the tension, and it should just come right out like so. So here's my guide rod, reverse barrel plug, and recoil spring all together. And then we can remove the barrel. You can see the barrel it's a bull barrel, providing more weight up front. Has the compensator, many different compensators. This is only one style, and the drilled holes in the barrel. It has a ramped barrel. I didn't point that out on the edge, but it has a ramped barrel as well. This provides a little bit more support for the chamber, for the pressures that these guns generate. Your standard 1911 usually don't have a ramped barrel. And I'll set that aside. Going to this portion here, you can see the scope mount is mounted to the frame. I have what is affectionately called a gas pedal on the side. This is for when you get your grip. Remember, on top of the safety, you can put your thumb on that. It gives you something to ride on. When set up properly, you want to set your open guns up similar to the other one. You want to spring everything just right, and once you find a load that works for your gun, you want to stick with it. Unless you, like I said, like experimenting. And these 38 Supers that I load for this particular gun, and for most everybody that shoots an open gun that does shoot 38 Super, you definitely don't want to take that ammunition and shoot it in a stock 38 Super that you bought over the counter, because the power levels of these rounds are considerably more than that stock gun can handle, so you may damage that gun eventually. Alright, I'm going to put this gun back together. Open guns are a lot of fun to shoot, but like I said, they can run a little pricey there. My STI Edge that I showed in the other video, I actually paid $1,200 for it from another shooter. Bought it used, and it came with one magazine. So so I had to build up a few magazines from there. Build up my stockpile rather by purchasing them as I could find them. Goes together very similar to the other one. I just had this gun re-hard chromed, so it's got some really tight tolerances on it now. It hasn't been shot maybe 10 times since I had it hard chromed. So once we get that together, shake out the paper clip, and there's your gun. This gun here probably has about a 2-pound trigger pull as well. Ambidextrous Safety is just like on the previous one. The grip safety on this one is actually pinned down, so it doesn't even move. It's another method for tying it down. If you have the means, I definitely recommend the open guns. However, if you've seen the video of me shooting the Beretta, you don't need any of this stuff. You can shoot your basic gun. As long as you practice, you can get good with just about anything you got. And that's the 38 Super open gun. They're all custom. They vary per gun, per shooter. It's all preference when it gets down to this almost.